Hello, everybody. Hi, Dar. Hi, Joan. Um, Sorry, I've been like 2 minutes late because again, Whispers didn't eat his food and then he threw up. Which at this point, I think that he threw up because he was hungry. But he's got these things. Sometimes he just doesn't want to eat his food, and in a way, it's understandable because with him being able to eat only foods that you can count on the fingers of one hand, he might get bored, but in the end, he ate a boiled egg, and now he's pestering me that he wants to play. And I keep telling him that I cannot play right now because I'm busy. Um, I hope you can hear me well. If anybody cannot hear me, let me know. And yes, I know, I love you too. And today I am celebrating 2 years since I opened this channel. And yes, I did choose a nerdy date because I'm a nerd. And of course, it had to be May 4th. So May the 4th be with you. Um, Hi, Cherry. One thing I don't understand is why YouTube has to notify me that Kalyana Design started a live. Well, thank you for telling me. I wasn't aware of that. So what is going on? Hi, Heidi. Thank you. What is going on? I finally got a date for my cataract surgery. Initially, I was a little bit getting anxious because I wouldn't get it. It was almost 2 weeks, and they wouldn't contact me. And finally, yesterday, when I was ready to call them in the afternoon, they called me in the morning, and they said, "Hi, Laos." They said that they skipped contacted me so soon because initially they are very busy. So initially I was scheduled for August, but they waited a little bit to see if there's any cancellation and if they can put me in sooner than that. And I do have a surgery date. It's going to be June 13. So there we go. It's still a month away, but a little bit more than a month away, but at least I know that it will be. And I'm really elated about that because apparently these cataracts that started developing on my right eye, it's advancing very, very fast. This is why I haven't been so active as I usually am, even with all my fatigue and all my stuff. Um, and I've been trying to catch up and have a few tutorials already made for the time right after the surgery. But with me not being able to see very well, it's kind of hard. But hey, I'm doing my best. Also, because we've been having a lot of rain, a lot of rain. Uh, and the ones of you who have all kinds of chronic fatigue and arthritis and other things going on know exactly what rainy weather can do to you in terms of pain. So, unfortunately, this is Oklahoma and is tornado season. And it was a good thing that this past week we only had one day with severe storms, and I was lucky. I wasn't hit by anything. We did have a few tornadoes in the state. You didn't hear me talking so much last year about it because last year was like one in a million. Uh, Hi, Janie. Sorry, I cannot even see this big monitor that I got last year. Um, So last year for Oklahoma was a completely unusual year. It was so mild in terms of severe weather and tornadoes and stuff that I've lived here for 18 and a half years, and I've never seen it so mild. But apparently this year will not be like that. And May has started, and May is the peak tornado season for us. So let's hope that everything will be okay. I do not have a storm shelter uh, because we have a stupid city council, whatever it's. But anyway, but I did, when I purchased this house back in 2001, the main reason I bought it, even if it's a very old house, it was built in 1944. Uh, but I bought it because it's a brick house. And I mean real brick. The walls, outside walls are double brick. Yes, I hope so too. I'll tell you a little bit in a second about that. So the outside walls are double brick, and even the inside walls are brick. So it's a pain to even to put a picture on the wall. You need that masonry bit and all that stuff. But yeah, with the cataract surgery, they said, because I have several things going on in my eyes. It's not just that. I have Graves' eye disease. That's an autoimmune system disease where your immune system starts attacking the thyroid and the muscles behind your eye. And I'm also horribly nearsighted. And then also in this very eye, I had a vitreous detachment. That's, hi, Lori. Uh, that's the thing that happens before retinal detachment. So they said they won't be able to improve my vision exceptionally, but still, they said they can do from 6 inches, 7 inches to maybe 2 or 3 feet. Um, so that's going to be awesome. And probably later in the year, I'll have to go with the left eye too, because there is a small cataract in the left eye as well, but not as big and as opaque as the one in the right eye. So that's the reason why I kept saying that during lives, hey, I'm working almost blind here. Um, because of that, probably most of the tutorials you'll see until I get the surgery. And the other thing is that I won't get new eyeglasses until 3 weeks after the surgery. So that's going to be interesting. Uh, but because of that, most of the tutorials that you'll be seeing will be probably mostly canes, because it's much easier for me to work canes even when I don't see very well, and it's the matter of editing the videos. On the other hand, I don't know if you have noticed any difference in quality on my last few videos. I got a new editing software that is video editing software that is much better than even the one that I had before, and it's way more user friendly. And if you are a YouTube creator, if you have your own YouTube channel, I did make in my Amazon influencer store, I did make a section with what I'm using for my videos. So if you're interested on what I'm using, you can see there what camera I'm using, what lights I'm using. I wish I could find somebody, because I have a concept in my mind on what kind of lights would be the best. But I wish I could find somebody to do it for me. And until then, I'm using these lights. And yeah, what else can I say as news in my everyday life? People who follow me on Facebook, and I'm talking about my regular, my private profile, not the Kalyana page, know that there's been this cat outdoors that's feral, but he's adorable. And it's been at least a couple months I've been trying to get him, I've been feeding him. And finally, a couple days ago, I was able to pet him. Uh, and poor little guy, he doesn't have the toes on his front right paw, but he's just so adorable. And he initially, I wasn't sure if he was a boy or a girl, because he doesn't have those pads that male cats have. So he kind of looks like a girl, but he's a boy. He's a boy. Um, and it was funny because starting yesterday, he started allowing me to pet him properly. And then in the afternoon, he came on the back porch and started crying. So I went out and I gave him a little bit more food. And he is so ignorant when it comes to petting that I stretched my hand toward him with my finger, and he was trying to grab my finger to munch on it because he thought it was food. He had no idea what petting is. But yeah, if you go look on my Facebook profile, I did post some photos of him, and even I managed to tape him when he's eating. And at one point, he actually lifts his head and looks straight at the camera. And with the new video editor, I was able to get that clip and have it blown out so you can see much better. Yeah, that was Seamus who wanted to tell me something. He's been horrible all morning. Seamus is a mama's boy, and he just follows me all over the place. Okay, let's get to clay news. One of the things that's been taking the internet clay community by storm is the new Fimo leather effects. What can I tell you about it? I've seen a few videos with testing, and it looks absolutely fabulous. The problem is that I couldn't find anybody in the US yet selling it. The prices on Amazon are, oh my God, WTF. It's like $18 something for a regular block plus $7.50 for shipping. I mean, and then not most, all of the European stores I looked in were out of stock. But I found an eBay seller and I got a few packages. It was quite expensive. And I think it was, I even forgot if I bought three or four packages. But with shipping and everything, it was $25, still less than Amazon. And Trish from PolyClay Play is desperately trying to find a good supplier with good prices so she could sell that line at a normal price, not $18. Let me check here. Okay, so I ordered it day before yesterday, and I ordered 4 blocks. Okay, they were more expensive than what you usually get them. It was a store in the UK, and it was £2.99 British pounds per package, and then it was no, the shipping was not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So it was like 11.99 plus 9. The shipping was like almost 9 British pounds. So yeah, fairly expensive, but I'm going to get it hopefully before Trish manages to get some in. So I'll be able to make a review and at least a tutorial to have ready by the time she brings them in the store, so you can see how it is before you purchase it. I'm telling you what I've seen online. It looks fabulous, and it looks like we should be able to make all kinds of wallets and you know bracelets and purses, maybe even. I don't know about belts because belts can have a lot of pressure on them. But another thing is that okay, what new stuff? Color Shift, Full Card Color Shift Paint came up with a few new colors, and Trish has them all. I'll be putting in my order. I'm not sure if tomorrow or Monday. So expect soon something with color shift. Then the Franco Garcia artisan powders. If you remember, I made quite a few tutorials with them, and they came up. That's a Prima marketing product. They came up with a few. Thank you, Christina. They came up with a few new colors as well, and Art Alchemy has come up with new colors in the waxes, and I think I presented it in my last live on Sunday. Yeah, I think that it should be really neat, and I do have a sewing machine, and I'll do quite a bit of experimenting. I'll try to stretch those 4 packages as much as I can. Um, Other things that you can look forward to in terms of playing, as I said, it's going to be a lot of caning. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, for tomorrow, um, if you check my community tab on the YouTube channel often, you know that I do put quite a bit of stuff there. And there was a poll that I had posted about you choose the subject for tomorrow. And out of the options that I put there, it seems that the cane will make a cane tomorrow. So hopefully you'll love it. Hi, DTS. So hi, Christina. Hi, Marietta. Everybody I didn't say hello to. Hi, Lori. Because as I said, I cannot see very well there, and then I'm trying to catch up when I can. Um, Otherwise, let me go a little bit through questions that I got from you in this past month. Uh, and before I do that, I have to apologize to the people who are members of my website, kalyanadesign.com, because I have a free membership there too. Most of the time, I would upload there first the videos that I post on YouTube, and it would be anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. And I probably should bring them more in the homepage. But unfortunately, with me not being able to see very well, my production rate has decreased spectacularly. So for right now, until I get the surgery and I get the new glasses, your only free membership perk will be pretty much being able to post in the members only discussion board. So apologies on that. Now let me go through the questions. One thing, especially with the last tutorial that I have posted, yeah, it's horrible. The last tutorial that I had posted, I have shown the sanding wand in more detail on finishing, how to finish with it. And yes, I do have several evergreen, if you want to call them like that, tutorials that I'm working on. But because they are so important and they present basic techniques and all that, I want to take my time on them and have them really well presented so that I can put as much information as possible without getting you all bored. And there will be one on sanding, and there will be one on buffing. But I got several people messaging me about, can I use the attachment on my Dremel so that I don't have to buy the sanding wand. I wouldn't. unless you have super fine control of your hands, because that's the main reason why I recommend and I bought the pedicure one, because of the rotation speed. The Dremel has, I don't know, I think that the weakest Dremels go like 3000 RPMs. And at that speed, if you don't have a perfect control of your hand, it's going to eat up your polymer clay. While the pedicure wand goes, I think it goes like, maybe 150, 200 rotations per minute at maximum. And you can control it very easily. And the other thing is that you would need an adapter to be able to put that yellow thing in the Dremel. And the adapter costs a little bit more than half the cost of the pedicure one. So the other thing that I got asked quite a bit was about the buffing and the buffing wheels. People ask me all the time. I've seen several people online showing how to do your own buffing wheel with felt or with denim or with... what can I say about that? Absolutely, you can. That works fine. Just be very careful with the denim, because no matter how much you bleach it and how much, it might still leave traces of dye on your pieces. But I'm going to ask you something. And let me again check the price. Why would you go spending, because it takes you over an hour to fix everything and to manage to do everything correctly until you're able to do your homemade buffing thingy, when the mini buffing wheels, the fine wool ones that I use, and if you remember, I made at one point a review comparison in real time between a fine muslin and a fine wool. You can buy those mini buffing wheels made out of fine wool at PolyClay Play for $244 for 5, and $780 for 20. I'm sorry, I don't know about you, but I'd rather pay $8 and have 20 fine wool mini buffing wheels, already made, beautiful, splendid. I know they do a beautiful job, than have to make my own. I don't know. That's me. Of course, feel free to make them, but... and 20 wheels last me, and I do buff quite a bit. 20 wheels last me, I don't know. The last time I bought was, gosh, it was like September, October last year. I bought a set of 20, and I still have about 12 left. So, don't know, to me, it doesn't make sense. But if you want just to train your hand and do that, more power to you. The thing is that the other thing was, can you put felt on the pedicure wand to buff? Absolutely. Only that it's going to go much slower than if you use the Dremel, because on the buffing, it's the other way compared to the sanding. The faster the speed, the better the buffing. Another thing that I've been asked, do you press when you sand? Yes, you press when you sand, especially when you're going with the lower grids to shape. Yeah, you press when you sand because you want to get rid of the, differences in. But when you buff, and I know that I made 2 or 3 videos with buffing. When you buff, avoid applying any kind of pressure. It's, you must barely touch that area, and you'll notice the less pressure you put, the faster and the more glossy your buffing will be, your piece will be. Um, okay, let me look at other stuff. Okay, taking all the April. Okay. Oh yeah. People who message me on Kalyana Design, and they complain that they cannot send photos. I'm sorry, it's nothing I can do. That is Facebook that doesn't allow people to send photos in messaging to pages, at least not all the time. And I guess it depends on the device you're using to access Facebook, because I do get sometimes photos from people on Messenger on the Kalyana page, and sometimes people complain that they cannot do. If you're on a device that doesn't allow you to, that app doesn't allow you to send photos, there are a lot of places where you can upload. They are free uploading images, and you can upload it there and just send me a link, or put it on your personal profile and I can pull it out from there. Just make sure that if we are not friends, you make that photo public, because otherwise I cannot see it. Okay. I'm going through the messages. Another thing that I wanted to tell you, sometimes it might take me a few hours to get back to you when you're messaging me. And obviously, if it's night and I'm sleeping, I'm not going to get back with you. And also, I tend to kind of shut off Facebook and anything else when I'm working on something, because if I get interrupted, I told you I'm very easy to distract and I might forget what I'm doing. Um, but where did I was going? I was going with somewhere with this. But yeah, it is important, and I will get. Yeah, I know what I was going to say. The other thing that what you have to think about is that I am nearing 12,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yay me! Uh, that means that I get a lot of comments, and the comments come not just on the last video I posted. I can have comments from videos that I posted 2 years ago. So I'm handling, I don't know, at least I would say anywhere from 150 to 200 comments a day. And I would say around 35, 40 messages in a day. So it takes me time to go through all that. So if I don't answer you right away, please understand that it's just me, and I don't monetize. So I cannot afford to pay, because there's a lot of big channel creators that can afford to pay. They would go on Fiverr or something, can afford to pay someone to come and administer the comments and reply. Or YouTube also gives you an option to put canned as in can, the when you can something, responses. That would be like cookie cutter responses. Hi, Edith. whenever somebody comments, but I don't want to do that. I want to give everybody the attention they deserve because they give me the most expensive thing in their life, their time. So I think everybody deserves, even if I say just a thank you, it's still, I want to go through all the comments and I want to see what everybody is saying. The other thing, yes, I do keep the comments moderated. And the main reason why I keep the comments moderated is because once a channel starts growing, there's a whole bunch of spam. And I don't want to have to go hunting daily for that spam to delete it. This way, it's much easier. I just don't let it pass through. And yeah, I need to go out and check on my little cherry trees. And then the second thing is, again, that I don't want to miss what someone says. There are a few people, long-time subscribers of mine, pretty much my sponsors that don't get in the moderated. But if you comment on something and you don't see your comment, just wait. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. But as I said, it's just one of me, and I have so many issues to deal with. Talking cherry blossoms, remember I did last year a sakura a flower, and I hope to be able to make something with the cherry tree blossom this year. I have something in plan for my sponsors, but again, I've been trying and unfortunately, I've been having a lot of fails, so I have to redo things a lot. But hopefully, everything will be fixed on June 13. Now, let me get back to the questions. Yeah, if you order something from Trish, from PolyClay, following my affiliate link, and you have questions about the stock, about when the parcel will be coming on, I'm not the person to ask that. You have to ask Trish. I am just an affiliate. What an affiliate does is to recommend a store, to recommend a product as being good, and because of that I do get a few cents out of every purchase you make, but I have absolutely no control over the orders you put in. um, And by the way, I want to thank everybody who helps me this way, because there are a lot of people who cannot afford financially to support my channel, but they use my affiliate links, and you have no idea how much it helps. Because if you use my affiliate links, either the PolyClay Play link or the Amazon Influencer Store, your prices don't change, but as I said, I get a few cents commission out of everything that you purchase. And in both cases, I don't really get money. I just get credit with the Trish with PolyClay Play. I have credit with the store, so that when I put in my order, I can say that since January, I didn't have to pay out of pocket for clay supplies and other things. Yes, Trish is wonderful. And with Amazon, everything that I make goes on an Amazon gift card, and that allows me to turn around and buy stuff that I need for my tutorials. That is how, thank you. That is how I got the new monitor. That is how I got the new, by the way, I posted on Facebook, I got a new tile. Let me change this. I got a Tim Holtz uh, tile, and it seems to have much less glare than the white one. I will still use the white one, Yeah, you can see I've been working on painting stuff. I'll still be using the white one when I'm doing black stuff, but probably not when I'm doing white stuff. And hopefully it will be much better, especially when making canes. But as I said, you using my Amazon influencer store helps me tremendously. That's how I was able to get a new video editor. That's how I was able to get a new camera, because it's not all about clay. And that allows me to get the money that I get from the sponsors towards other stuff where I cannot use the Amazon or PolyClay Play, like the website, for example. Being able to use royalty free music, being able to use royalty free images and things like that. That helps a lot. And now let me see if I have any other questions, and then we'll get on to these stashes. I did get requests for, there are several people who asked me if I can make a tutorial showing how to imitate something that you see and make it in a cane. And that was especially concerning mandalas. Yes, we will do that. Then I did send Facebook fairly scathing feedback, because at that one point I started getting a whole bunch of messages on the Facebook page. Thank you. Well, see, the thing is, Dor, that before I used to do a lot of graphic design and even video advertising and stuff like that. So, but yeah, let me get back to that. Because at one point I started getting a whole bunch of messages on the Kalyana Facebook page about where are you located. And I can tell you one thing, you know what catfishing is? Catfish are those fake accounts who try to scam people into, starting an online romance so they can scam money from them. And one of the questions that these type of scammers ask would be, where are you located? So you can imagine when I started getting questions on the messages with the where are you located on the Kalyana Facebook page, I was quite curt, because it sounded like a catfish. Unfortunately, Facebook had the abysmally idiotic idea to make where are you located one of the standard cookie cutter messages somebody can send to a page. I don't know. Facebook is kind of beyond my understanding, because to me it looks like they have a whole bunch of people who have no idea what they are doing, but they are trying to justify their paycheck, and they come up with the most inane and stupid changes to Facebook. Okay. And then I'm still trying to get through the. I think that we are getting through the. Yeah, a lot of people kept asking me. Oh, yeah, I remember. One of the things, and then I saw that the blue bottle tree. Hi, Ellen. Blue Bottle Tree had posted something about it, and I know that I talked about it a lot. And I'm actually think that a little review on that would be able to make people understand better. It's about mica powder, colored mica powder, because there is a huge difference. A lot of people ask me, they will send me links. Is this mica powder good? Is it? I want to make my own pearlescence. Is this mica powder good or not? The thing is, and I think I talked about this when I reviewed the Decorum mica powders. The thing is that there is a huge difference between colored mica powder and colored pigment mica powder. The colored mica powder, um, the mica itself is colored, and that mica may be natural mica or may be artificial mica, but it's that little disc, fine microscopic disc. Thank you, Nicole. Microscopic disc of mica, that microscopic mica flake that is colored itself. The pigment mica powder, the mica powder can be goldish, silverish, whatever the natural color of mica powder, but it has pigment in it. Um, and it's not the same thing. When you use a colored mica powder to make your own pearlescent by mixing it into translucent, then you'll be able to make mica shift and all kinds of stuff of that color. But when you have pigment mica powder, and if you mix it in translucent, you'll get, for example, red clay with gold mica in it. So it's not going to make the same mica shift and so on. And one of the clays where you can see exactly what I'm talking about is the Premo Violet Pearl. In the Premo Violet Pearl, the clay is purple, but the mica is blue. That's where you can see perfectly the difference between, like if you take the gold or bronze or whatever Premo, and you get the, hi Jerry Bean Angel, and the purple. That's the main difference between colored mica and pigment mica. And a lot of people, because I know that I say a lot of times, and probably I'll answer those questions a lot in the future again. One of the companies that I'm very happy with, their colored mica powder, is a company that actually sells pigments and micas and all kinds of stuff for making soap, and the name is Nurture Soap. And they have beautiful mica colors, and they are probably the only ones that I found to date that have actual red mica powder. It's very hard to find red mica powder. Whatever you buy is red. Usually it's copper. It's not red. Let's see if there's anything else. And congratulations to all of you who got your sanding wand. You're gonna be absolutely in love with it. Okay. So I think that would be it. Yeah, that is it. Now, let's get on to the destashes. Um, I am working really hard on doing the destashes. But even so, I think I'm going to do the destashes in at least 2 batches, just because it's so much. And if I would wait until I get everything ready, it's going to take me another month. So look forward to this coming week for the first batch of destashes. Just to give you an idea, I think I have over 200 cabochons and pieces to sand and buff. and also over 200 beads. And it's going to be, as I said, it's going to be a huge distash. I'm going to put in there pretty much most of the pieces that I made starting from the beginning, because I'm starting to get overwhelmed with how much stuff I have around the house. And because I didn't seem to be able to find time to actually take photo of things and upload them on in the website, in the store, to be able to sell them, because again, I'm always out of time. But I mean, think about this. At this point, I have let me see, on YouTube only, 592 videos. Yeah, you don't see all of them, and I'll say in a minute why you don't see all of them. They're only about 450. Thank you, Dar. Um, about 450 that are public, because I have a lot that are not unlisted, like the sponsors lives, and sometimes I would post stuff that I made during a sponsors live, a result, and that's okay. So think about this. So we are talking almost 600 YouTube videos, of which probably about 150 um, do not involve the finished piece. And yeah, I know that I did a whole bunch of pistaches before. Thank you, Jerry Bean. Um, but think that just considering one piece out of all that you see there still bring me to over, hi Chris, to well over 300 pieces. And when you start putting into account everything that I make when I'm testing stuff, when I'm trying to perfect a technique, when I'm trying to perfect a 4 gemstone, you go to almost double that. So think about how much stuff I have laying around the house. I'm starting to run out of room. So that's why I'm going to do all these huge distash thing that might take a while, and it's going to come out in batches. But yeah, it's coming out, and then there will be more of my 4 gem cabochons out for sale as well. Yeah, so yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff. That's why it takes quite a bit. So, if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer, and then at the end of this, I'm going to talk about the little contest that I'm going to do for the 2 years channel anniversary. So, if you have any questions you want to ask me about anything, you go ahead and yeah, I work a lot. And see, now I'm working much less, but when I first started the channel for like 4 or 5 months, I almost posted almost daily. So, yeah. Okay, now let's talk about the contest with prizes. There are going to be 3 prizes, and those will be value vouchers for my paid tutorial um, section of the store. The Yeah, I'm going to put that in a tutorial. Yes, you can always watch the chat. Yeah, Ellen. They get always recorded and you can watch later. So there are going to be 3 vouchers. The first prize, a $50 value, a second prize, a $25 value, and the third prize, $15.99 value. And why I do $15.99, not 15, because I have a lot of the tutorials that are $15.99, and I don't want to have you pay 99 cents, you know. Oh yeah, hold on, because I have a lot of I have some other stuff that I wanted to talk about, even if I already have a tutorial out there. There are 2 things. Number one, because Jerry Bean just asked something. And thank you, Mary. Um, the what clay should I pick? And I do have a tutorial out there that's for beginners, and that's exactly how it is named. Which clay should I pick? Let me link it. Give me just. Why do I have this here? I can put it in here. Okay.
But it's also.
Oh, shut up. Alrighty. So this is the tutorial. What clay you pick depends on what you're trying to make. You want firmer clays for canes, and you want softer clays for like mica shift and mokumegane and anything that involves deforming. Now, abalone is generally based, for abalone is generally based on deformation, on mokumegane type stuff. Good morning, Darika. Daris, sorry. As I said, I cannot see well. Um, so talking about that, you have essentially 3. I wouldn't recommend Fimo. Fimo is a little bit too firm for that. And also the translucent is not that good quality. Uh, you have 3 good quality translucents, and those would be Premo, which is okay. Okay. Then you have Pardo, and then you have Cernit. Um, Pardo, yes, you can make beautiful abalone with it, but if you're not used to Pardo, Pardo is a little bit firmer and a little bit harder to move in a mokumegane. So it would be either Primo or Cernit. And especially with the new colors Cernit came up, the metallics Cernit came up with, I would honestly go with Cernit if you want to do a beautiful stuff. And I had when I reviewed best flexible molds, I know that I said that the best flexible molds, the specific uh, the specific mold that I used comes with a full abalone tutorial, images tutorial. And let me see, this is the one where I actually made it. And then I made the full abalone during that live, because it was a live. And let me give you the link to that live. Yes, they used to sell it in Michael's and in Hobby Lobby, but like I haven't seen it there. So the place you want to go to is Marie Segal's Clay Factory. That's where you want to get it. Hi, Judy. The other thing that I get asked all the time, and Judy's one of and the ones who ask me is, what varnish do you prefer? What varnish do you use? And see, in this, as in many other things, it depends. It depends on what you're trying to make. Because number one, if you've watched me for a while, you know that whenever possible, I prefer sanding and buffing to varnishing. Number two, and yes, I do have a varnishing video in preparation, including finishing beads, and that's another one. Um, but it depends what you're trying to do. If you want a super gloss, if you want a half gloss, there are a lot of choices. My main go-to varnish is, oh yeah, the other thing is, are you going to bake again the piece after you varnish or not? Is it something that might smudge or not? Because in some cases you might want to use a spray on. In other cases, it's okay to just my most go-to is Minwax, or of course water-based Minwax, always water-based Minwax, or Varathane, the same water-based. But again, depends what one you're trying to do. For example, you'll notice the ones of you who have watched my Faux Cloisonné. Um, I use the Judikins diamond glaze there because the Judikins and for enamel, because Judikins, when it dries out, it kind of shrinks a little bit, so it would leave on the edges that um, exact shape that enamel does. So again, it depends on what you, not one. Okay. Not, it depends a lot what you're trying to do there. Yes, I do have a whole bunch of varnishes. I do have the whole Scalpy thing, and I would use the Scalpy glaze, even if I'm definitely normally not recommending it because it's a very poor quality glaze, let's be honest. Um, but it can be rebaked. You can rebake that piece as many times as you want. Other varnishes can, but I'm gonna talk about all of this in tutorials. But again, it depends on what you're trying to make. And if you watch any of my tutorials where I recommend, where I do show varnishing, I would always talk about what varnish did I use. So let's go to the before finishing, because I want to do this in the very last 2 minutes, so nobody would have a head start. Yes, it depends, and we are not talking diapers. um, so I'm going to ask 3 questions, and the person who answers the first, all 3 questions correctly will get the prize. And of course, we'll have 3 people, and it will be in the order they answer. And you know that YouTube shows the timestamp on the comments, so it will be very easy for me to figure out who did answer the first. And then I need to start getting ready because I have a friend taking me out to do. I need to buy CBD oil and a few things. And because of my, before I was able to take myself to at least to 7-Eleven in the corner, but now with not being able to see properly, I can't. So the first one is going to be, what is the tutorial in which I showed a cane for the first time? So, oh, you just post the answers in comments, Cherry. Once the live ends and when the video gets posted by YouTube for replay, you can comment on it. So what tutorial is the tutorial in which I first showed a cane? Then the second is, what tutorial, and you only have to put the name of the tutorial and the number. You can just put just the number because you've noticed all my tutorials have a number in the end. What did I use to paint a goldfish? That's the second question. And the third question is, I showed how to make beautiful backings using clay scraps, and I showed it on a bracelet. What was on the front of that bracelet? Good questions, huh? So what was on the front of the bracelet in the tutorial in which I showed how to make nice backings out of polymer clay scraps? Let's see who's getting the prizes. And thank you so much for being here with me. And don't forget to send me all questions on the... I am bad. I know I am bad. Don't answer here because it will have absolutely no value. The answers, only the valid answers will be in comments, whatever you comment, not in the live chat. Um, so thank you for being here with me. Remember, don't forget to like and subscribe if you found my channel for the first time, and check the video description to see how you can support me. And if you're an elderly lady and have a lot of issues with your hands, stick around because I'm one too, and I can show you how to make things easier. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful weekend. Good luck with the contest, and I'll see you tomorrow at 12:30 Central Time when we will make a cane. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. And goodbye and happy claying.